Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. By now you've probably heard that Robert Helenius replaces Dillian Whyte as Anthony Joshua's opponent on Saturday. I did a video about it and many other channels have, so if you haven't heard, well, that's the case. So what do we think of Helenius as an opponent? Well, as I said in my previous video, I think that's... I've heard worse. Gerald Washington would have been far worse. Derek Chisora would have been horrendously worse. But the question is, why do they pick Helenius? And I've been thinking about this all day, because there must be some rhyme or reason. If you've got several things on the table, why do you pick one? And so, here's my take. And I'm not saying I'm right. I could be completely wrong. We can all be wrong. I don't have any inside information. But thinking about it, what are the two things that Helenius has in common with Deontay Wilder? Excuse me. Number one, was he 6'8", 6'7", 6'8"? Near as damn it, as tall if not taller than Deontay Wilder. Number two, he hits hard. Okay, so you could think, even though he was knocked out by Washington, Helenius was stopped in 8 rounds by Washington, they've chosen him for those two reasons. Now I know the similarities between Helenius and Wilder end there, and obviously Wilder knocked out Helenius in 1 round. So a lot of people are saying, well, I don't get it. You know, Anthony Joshua, if he knocks Helenius out in 1 round, it's not like he's bettered what Deontay Wilder did. And if he goes, this was my initial reaction, if he goes, 6, 7, 8 rounds, or even the distance, or puts AJ on the floor, AJ's confidence could dip, not increase. I mean, I said that in my previous video, but have a think about it. It's preparation for Wilder. The height and the power. Joshua, this is only his 2nd fight with Derek James. Joshua is, excuse me, Joshua is, for all intents and purposes, he looks pretty gun shy. He looks like his confidence is low. He looks like he doesn't want to be hit. Ever since the first Andy Ruiz fight, he's boxed very, very conservatively. Everything is reserved. There's nothing cavalier about him. Not like, it's chalk and cheese when you compare the fights right up to the first Andy Ruiz one and then post Andy Ruiz one. It's like a different fighter. Certainly a different mentality. So what's the best way to overcome those demons? You put him in with someone who, while he isn't a killer, because don't forget he's 39 years old, Helenius, and he fought at the weekend, scored a 3rd round knockout against a undefeated but nondescript guy. Prior to that, he got flattened in less than a round by Wilder. Nevertheless, he hits hard. He's not a killer, but he's potentially dangerous. And what you don't do is, the one thing you don't want to do with a fighter who's psychologically fractured is you don't want to put him in with someone who's going to take it to him and really be full of confidence, and you could finish them. You could literally finish their career. So if you put him in there with someone who he's concerned about, not afraid of, but concerned about and apprehensive maybe, and then you work on the things that you've been working on behind the scenes with Derek James to overcome those psychological humps, to alleviate the apprehension, to get you more confidence. You know a guy in front of you is capable of knocking you out, but he's not, he's not an absolute monster, but I've got to be careful here, and I've got to do the things that I did in the gym. It sharpens the mind. It focuses the mind. You understand? Now, I'm going to get stick for this, but I wouldn't rule out, if Helenius comes in with motivation and with determination and sees this as a golden opportunity to gate crash the party like Andy Ruiz did, I don't see this as, I see him as a rank outsider, but I don't think it's impossible that he can win. And I'm hoping he does come in with some ambition, because if he does, he will ask questions of Joshua. He will force Joshua to focus, to work on the things he's been doing, to open him up and hopefully eventually knock him out. Now let's say he takes 8 rounds. In fact, let's say Joshua goes on the floor and gets up and stops him late. Or let's say it's a boring fight and it goes the distance. People are going to say, well, Wilder finished him in a round, Helenius. What the hell? I mean, AJ's finished. It was the same reaction as it was after the Jermaine Franklin fight. And I always thought that after the Jermaine Franklin fight, Joshua got, even though there was plenty to criticise, some of the criticism was it went too far. Because he was coming off, 2 defeats in his last 2 fights, albeit to Usyk. If he struggles or isn't impressive in this fight, yes, that could diminish his confidence further. It could do it. Or if Derek James has got, and this is the job of a trainer, it's not just to teach you drills and, work on certain punches, it's to be, almost an amateur psychologist. Derek James and Joshua's team will be saying, okay, Wilder thinks you're an easy touch now. Don't worry about it. We'll get Wilder. Wilder thinks this is easy. He thinks the public are saying you're shot. The public are saying you'll never be what you will. Work on that. Use that to your advantage. Do you understand what I mean? Just let them all talk. It's kind of like if you've got something, if you know that you know something other people don't, and they're all making fun of you. It's a nice feeling, because you can actually, when you do prove them wrong, and they all stagger back, you can say, well, I knew something you didn't. So that can work. If Joshua was to go the distance, get floored, stop him late, whatever, he can use that. He can use the public's incorrect perception, possibly incorrect perception, to his advantage. Not least of all with Deontay Wilder, Malik Scott, and Wilder's team. And suddenly they'll be like, oh yeah, we're not putting out this fight. We're making big money to fight this guy who looks like he's shot. He's gun shy. Look, he took 8 rounds to beat Helenius. We did him in 1. No problem. And don't forget, Wilder's only had less than a round since that absolute horrendous barn burner, that horrific beating he took off Tyson Fury. He's had that less than 1 round, and he's getting into his late 30s now, Wilder. He's getting up there with Helenius in age. So I think there is some rhyme and reason to why they picked Helenius. I don't know if I've got it completely right here, but I think I'm probably about 60-70% right. Maybe I'm missing some stuff. If you think I'm missing something out, or if you think I'm just flat out wrong, comments below. Let me know what you think. And yeah, as always, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the like button. That would help us out. Spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing, all right? Let me know what you think. I want to read your comments, and I'll answer them, of course. And yeah, in the meantime, bye-bye for now.